Hey Calvary kids, welcome back to Storytime. My name is Lauren and we are continuing this week to move through the Bible. We are on our third week in the book of Judges, where we have seen that Israel struggled with following God's laws. But each time the Israelites turned away and found themselves in a bad situation, God was faithful and sent judges to help. Do you remember the name of the woman who judged over Israel and helped them defeat Sisera and Canaan? Deborah! What about the name of the judge who we talked about last week? The one who was young and weak and didn't think he could win the battle over the Midianites? Gideon. Great. Let's find out who we are going to learn about this week. Try to follow along with the movements as we dive into the Bible. Grab a seat crisscross applesauce somewhere where you have space to move around but can see the screen easily. To get into our Bible story, we need our telescope. We look over one shoulder for it. Not over there. We look over our other shoulder. Finding our telescope right there. We pick it up and cover one of our eyes. Who do you see? Adjust your telescope a little. There he is a big and strong man. Today, we are going to learn about Samson. Hold on as we dive in. Wow! We get tossed to one side and then the other side and whew, here we are. We need to hop up and be ready for our adventure today. Crouch forward on your toes and hop up. We have to look around at where we are. Keeping our feet spread apart and facing forward, we twist our shoulders to one side, back to center, and then to the other side. We are surrounded by long grass. No one can see us. But just a little ways in front of us, we see an angel talking to a couple. Spread your legs and arms into a star shape as the angel says, "You will have a son who will save the Israelites from the Philistines, but don't forget, you must never cut his hair." We sit back down with our legs straight out in front of us and make our hands and arms into a scissor motion. Open, shut, open, shut. Switch which arm is on top. Open, shut, open, shut. That's the way we cut, cut, cut. Everyone cuts their hair. That seems like such a silly request. Do you think the angel really meant that they couldn't ever cut their son's hair? Let's find out if they followed the angel's orders. Grab your telescope. We're going to move ahead to when their son, Samson, has grown up. Place it over one eye and this time we are in a vineyard surrounded by grapes. Standing up, moving your hands in a great big circle like the shape of a grape. There's Samson, all grown up, with his parents walking through the vineyard. His mother is saying, "The angel said you would save Israel. Why can't you find a wife from Israel? Why do you want to marry some Philistine girl? The Philistines treat us terribly." We jump with fear. There, right in front of the group, is a lion. We come down onto our knees. Put your toes together and sit on them, moving your knees outward. We take our lion paws and turn them towards our bodies, widening our shoulders because we are a really big lion. The lion sees Samson and his family. The lion takes a breath in through his nose and opens his mouth and breathes loudly in a warning. Samson's parents run, but God is with Samson as Samson stands his ground. The lion breathes in through his nose again. But this time when he breathes out, he gives a big roar. Roar! Let's hear his roar. Breathe in and roar, roar. You guys are really good. Samson races forward and fights the lion, and Samson wins. Put your knees together and stretch your hands forward, rotating your wrists a couple times like Samson does after he wins the fight. Now we reach our feet back and push up, then hop towards your feet, coming up to a standing position. We've now hopped forward into Samson's wedding to the Philistine woman. He's telling some men a riddle. Out of the eater came something to eat, and out of the strong came something sweet. What do you think that might mean? The men are confused. They march over to the bride and ask her for the answer. March, 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 march. The bride says, "He ate honey from bees." Make a bzzz sound as she tells them. Bzzz. The beehive was on the lion. Samson is so angry that she told him the answer. He throws a tantrum. Stomp your feet like an elephant and swing your arms from side to side as Samson burns the Philistine fields. Make your grumpiest face ever. Is it a good idea to have a tantrum? No, and it wasn't for Samson either. The Philistines are now angry too. You better run and hide, Samson. Lunge forward 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. Samson escaped, but the Philistines are still after him. Samson has a friend in a town named Delilah, and it looks like she might be about to betray him too. Let's take a look. The Philistines are opening a big bag. Put your hands together and then open them up. And they're giving Delilah money while saying, "This money is yours if you find out why Samson is so strong." Delilah is headed for Samson. Let's find out what happens. Delilah says, "Samson, you are so strong. How is it that you get your strength?" Samson says, "If you tied me up with 7 fresh bowstrings, I will be weak. Reach one arm towards the sky and one arm behind you. Bend your upper arm and try to touch your other arm." But wham! Samson breaks free. Delilah asks again, "Samson, you are so strong. How is it that you get your strength?" Samson says, "Oh, I was wrong last time. It is actually new rope that is needed to make me weak. Reach your other arm up towards the sky and the other arm behind you. Bend your upper arm and try to touch your hands." But Samson breaks free again. Delilah asks, "Samson, you are so strong. How do you get your strength?" Samson says, "Okay, I fibbed before, but now here is the truth. If you weave my hair into a loom, I will be weak." We roll our hands as we weave up his hair. But wham! Again, Samson breaks free. Will Delilah ever discover the secret to his strength? She kept bugging him again and again to tell her the secret until finally, he did. He told her that if she cut his hair, he wouldn't be strong anymore. Do you remember how the angel told his parents to never cut his hair? I guess we will find out if she meant it. While Samson slept, a Philistine man cut his hair. Cut. This time, he became weak. Then the Philistines grabbed him and put him in chains. Delilah had tricked him. The Philistines made Samson stand among pillars in their temple. Here is one pillar, and here is the other pillar. Samson prayed to God, "Lord, strengthen me once more." So God strengthened Samson, and he pushed on the pillars and then collapsed the temple, leaned to one side and collapsed onto the ground like the breaking pillars. Samson saved the Israelites from the Philistines. God was faithful yet again. Say a very loud, "Phew! Phew!" We are ready to head back out of this story. Stretch your legs out in front of you. Take a deep breath in and out. Thanks for helping me tell the story this week. We learned that even though Samson disobeyed God and stirred up some trouble, God still used Samson to deliver the Israelites from the Philistines. Eventually, Jesus would become the ultimate deliverer, saving us through his obedience in his life and his death for those who trust in him. Because of what Jesus did, if we confess our sins, he is faithful and just to forgive us. That's 1 John 1, verse 9. That's it for this week, Calvary. Thanks for watching. See you next week.